Good morning and welcome to Soul Soup. I'm Dr. Janette Freeman, here to dish up a little food for your soul and warmth for your heart. As we continue on our series, Living the I Am Way, and this is part 2. And today's intention and focus is on being an awesome receiver. So living the I Am way is simply living in higher consciousness more and more. That we are upgrading this operating system to live from the spiritual nature more than being fooled constantly by the world of effect. Living the I Am way is the practices of being able to sustain that awareness in higher consciousness. And from that presence and from that higher consciousness, life can be even more magical and miraculous. Not because something is always going on magical and miraculous, although that is many times the case, but it is magical and miraculous because of our perception of living from upstairs awareness, upstairs consciousness, and accessing what is really true, the peace and happiness, the joy of our oneness with this higher center, this higher presence. So today, being a good receiver. Everyone wants to receive something. Everyone wants to receive or experience something that they may not be experiencing, if we're honest. In fact, some sort of suffering that you may be having right now, and I'm saying mental suffering, many times related to an unfulfilled desire or a belief that you want to receive something in order to experience greater happiness. Regardless, our work is always going and working at the level of cause. Working at the level of cause, in other words, working in the higher realms, working on ourselves to come in alignment with living from the higher centers of consciousness, of living from our higher self, from our I Am nature. So, in order to be a better receiver, we must be in a better receiving energy. In order to be in a better receiving energy, we have to let go of the energy of resistance and pushing away. So we have the energy of receiving. It's like your arms are open, you're receiving, you're allowing the universal blessings. And the energy of resistance is pushing away. So what are we pushing away? A lot of times we say, I want to receive this, I want to receive this, I want to receive this, and I'm pushing away everything that I don't want. But pushing away everything I don't want keeps us in the opposing energy of receiving. It puts us in the energy of pushing away. So imagine the universe doesn't know the difference, and it's acting upon energy, and we're in the energy of pushing away what I don't want, and think that we could all of a sudden be in the energy of receiving what I do want. And the trick is we must learn more and more to be in the energy of receiving, no matter what is showing up or what is not showing up. And there's where the spiritual mastery practices start to come in. We know the dichotomy is we must stop resisting what we don't want, because we've heard it 100 times, what we resist persists. So before we go into a very powerful practice of dissolving resistances, let's look at 3 little teaching points to help us remember and practices to be in the energy of receiving, to be in the practices of letting go of this resistance energy so that we're not resisting life, so that we're in the energy of flow and in the energy of receiving life. So this is the ABCs of being a good receiver. The first thing is A, accept the present moment as it is. And you may, as you listen to this, may want to apply this personally and specifically, contemplating what you have been resisting. What have you been saying no to? What have you been trying to push away? What have you been arguing with? Like, I don't want this. You may allow the teaching to inform your particular practice for right where you are. So A, accepting the present moment as it is. I think everything in spirituality and in higher awareness teachings leads with this, accepting the present moment as it is. That means, what have we been saying no to? Can we accept it? Let's allow ourselves to accept whatever we've been resisting, thinking about those ways that life is not going the way we want it. I can take a breath and accept the present moment as it is. For we know one thing, life is always shifting, changing, moving. Some days it's perfect, some days it's not. Can I accept this is what's happening right now? The car broke down. This is what's happening right now. Now what? I can allow and accept the present moment as it is. Number 2, B, block complaining from your vocabulary. Block complaining. Block complaining. In other words, I was trying to find a way to say don't complain so much with the letter B. All complaining, as you can see, is a form of resistance. And most of the complaining we do is habituated by the way our own brain works and our mind works to resist and complain. Not everything's the way you like it, and your mind may complain, but we can start to reverse that practice by just saying, I'm not going to be an out loud complainer. I'm going to notice when I'm complaining, because when I'm complaining, that is me tapping into resistance energy. And remember, as we keep perceiving life through energy, if I'm in resistance energy over here, I'm not in receiving energy of allowing it in. And I want to be in receiving energy. So even that which I complain about, let me be aware so that I can slip into blocking that complaining and allowing and accepting the present moment as it is. And number 3, or C, is contentment. Contentment in all ways. Of course, we want new experiences. Of course, we want to manifest new things, or we want to have goals. And a lot of times that holds us into the energy of resistance because I don't have it. The energy of contentment is bliss. The energy of contentment is gratitude. The energy of contentment is saying, I am content in this moment. And it has been said that true happiness is one that can learn to be content in all things. I am content in all things. So we can begin to see these little 3 things. Well, they're not so little. The ABCs of being a good receiver. To simply accept and allow what's happening in the moment. To block complaining. And to be content. I am content in all things. Sets up the vibration of us as a great receiver. Remembering that if I want to receive in greater good or even that which I've been desiring, I must stand in the receiver energy. Even around the things that I wish weren't there. I must receive it all. And we're going to do a process. So let's prepare for our process where we can work with the higher self to dissolve those little resistances that are in our energy field, in our psyche, maybe we're not even aware of. To work with the higher self, to dissolve resistances so that we can have nothing pushing away that which wants to be in your experience. That's right. So let's settle in this process and in this practice. We are going to work with our energy field or our chakras. But I invite you to come into your I am line. And we do that by taking a breath. Begin to realize this beautiful golden river of light that connects high above our head, at the crown of our head. It moves through the center of us. Imagine it through the spine or the front of the spine and moving out the base of the spine. Imagine it moving down through the center of the earth. And imagine that as we take a breath and hook in to this center line and begin to breathe vertically up, I, and down, and I on the in-breath, am on the out-breath, I on the in-breath, moving up, am on the out-breath, moving down. To just come online and come through the breath to the center of you. And as we begin this process, I invite you to maybe imagine something that you have wanted to receive and you have not been able to. Something you have wanted to bring into your life experience, either an effect, a person, a situation, or a feeling or an experience. And imagine, if you could, where does it dwell? Like how far away is it? Just see it over there someplace. And maybe another experience that you've been wanting to receive and have not, and go ahead and just see where does it dwell. A lot of times it positions in our awareness, way off in the distance or very close. How far away is it? And if there's any more, just place them wherever they are. Good. All right, so now let us come back into the breath. And I invite you right now to just move your awareness right to the base of your chakra, your first chakra, which is at your sitting bone, right where you're sitting. And as you're breathing right into that area, I want you to imagine if there has been any struggle, resistance, fear, or worry with regards to your security. Any security needs, maybe a fear of the future, maybe any money concerns, security concerns, housing concerns. Just trusting your own energy field, your own intuition. And just noticing if there's been any of that at all. And then just simply allow yourself to accept all of it. Accept there's been anxiousness, accept there's been worry, accept your entire security situation exactly as it is right now. Keep breathing into that part of your body and just simply accept it all. Accept all situations that you concern with security. Accept it all in this moment. As we do that, we invoke and call upon the higher self of each one listening to this right now and ask the higher self to dissolve all resistance, to dissolve and let go of all attachment and resistance and mental suffering around this and around it all. So using your breath, breathe into this energy center, and as you breathe into it, allowing everything to be exactly as it is. And you may notice right now a releasing and a clearing of this energy center. Just letting everything fall away, all resistance go away. Maybe it drains down your leg, it just goes away, it just drains through your acceptance. Beautiful. And now moving your awareness up to the second chakra. This is your pleasure center, your creativity center. As you breathe into this center, maybe notice, is there any resistance? Maybe a fear or some way that you haven't been feeling pleasure. This is your sexual center as well. This is a lot of ways that we connect with our pleasure, our creativity. Just breathe into it. Has there been any resistance? Maybe a unsatisfactory center. Whatever's there, just allow it to be exactly as it is. And if any life circumstances come to mind, allow them to be just the way they are right now. Asking the higher self to dissolve all resistance in the second chakra, all resistance to pleasure, all resistance to your own sexuality, all resistance to your own creativity. Anything that is there at all, just feel into it and keep breathing. You're not doing this work. We are inviting the higher self to work with you in the higher realms and dissolve all resistance at the second center. And then let's move up. Take a breath, let it go. Moving up to the third center, right in the abdomen, the power center, the center of the will. Maybe just feeling into whatever, any resistance there, maybe not getting your way, not being right, not feeling empowered and strong and at choice. Just check in. Feeling into any resistance. Maybe imagining circumstances, and then just allow it all to be the way it is. Just allow. Breathe in through the belly. Allow it all to be there. We invite the higher self to work in the higher realms, to work with the body, to work with the spirit, to work with everything, to dissolve all resistance to personal empowerment, personal choice and will. So we can begin to use personal choice and will at the level of the higher self. Very good. Letting go of all resistance. And then moving up to the fourth center or the heart chakra and breathing through the heart. Breathing through the heart, inviting the higher self to breathe through the heart and just checking in any resistance there, any resistance to love, any resistance to open-heartedness. Just noticing and even allowing it to be there. Allowing any way that you've been resisting not loving, or resisting that or complaining that you're not loving like you want to. Breathe into that. Allow everything to be as it is right now in your life. We ask the higher self to open the heart and to dissolve all the resistance to love. Breathing through the heart. And now moving up to the throat. And just checking into any resistance in the throat, any resistance or fear of using your voice, of living authentically, of expressing yourself. Just noticing and allowing it even to be there, calling upon the higher self to dissolve that resistance. Dissolve that resistance. Breathing through. By now you should begin to feel this up and down breath pattern, open area, this opening inside, opening that this light can freely move up and down, that the throat and the heart and the abdomen and the second and first center completely open and moving right up, taking all that energy, that wide open energy up to the third eye right now. And just dissolving all resistance, asking the higher self to dissolve all resistance to intuition, spiritual attunement, spiritual awakening, greater alignment with the higher self. That's right. Letting go of all resistance to opening up to deeper intuition and deeper connectedness. Asking the higher self to do its work to dissolve that which holds us in forgetfulness. That's right. And then take a deep breath, moving the energy up. Now all of that open energy from that open channel, moving that up right through the crown. Maybe even imagining it like a beautiful fountain of light coming right up through all of the centers and bursting out like a fountain through the crown. That's right. And as you breathe, just feeling the openness of this energy moving up and down through this beautiful I am line, this divine line, the energy field opening and opening and opening. I am. Just feel this openness all inside you as this resistance washes away, and just I am open. I let go of all resistance and know that I am open. I am a wonderful receiver. I simply allow and receive all. And feeling into this receiving energy, go back and just remember those things that you placed in distance away from you. And just check in and notice if it's possible that maybe they can come in even closer now. Without this resistance energy, that you can just receive. And you can trust and receive that you'll receive whatever it is that you need to receive. And you'll learn whatever it is you need to learn. And everything is coming in at the perfect right time. And how good it is to know that. Just allow yourself to receive all of it. Not putting a time factor on anything, but just knowing that divine right action is always taking place. That I tap into right now this energy of I am a beautiful receiver. That I let go of resistance. that I let go of complaining, that I allow each moment to be the gift that it is, that I am content in this moment, and I am a wonderful, wonderful receiver. So I give thanks for this divine presence, which is right within me now. I deeply desire to receive the love from this presence and allow this presence to live through me unobstructed by resistance, and allow it to flow up and down in my spine. Allow it to flow in and out of my breath, knowing all is so beautiful and all is well. I allow it to be so, and so it is. Gently taking a breath. Allowing yourself to feel your surroundings, allowing everything to be as it is, coming right back here into this moment, right here. So thank you so much for being with us on Soul Soup today. I'm glad you were here. And I'd love to invite you to stay connected by moving over to my website at www.JanetteFreeman.com, where I've got tons of free resources for you and to stay connected. And in any way, if you may need personal help to move through some things or ongoing mentoring, check in. So on my site are lots of things, and I hope to see you over there, and sign up on the email list. And I try to send useful information at least once a week. So thank you so much for being here today. Many blessings. And I invite you to practice this week your ABCs, to accept what's happening, to block complaining, and to be content in all things. And I'll see you next time. Namaste, my friends.